So David, over several decades now, you've played an integral role on telling the story of carnivorous plants amongst many other sort of flora and fauna. And you've influenced and nurtured many interests and careers. And in this room, there's probably not one person in some way that you've touched in a very big way. They may have gone to a whole academic career within certain topics as a result, or even from the amateur side, whether it's the love of nature and their interest in natural ecology and biology and conservation. I think we're all here, and particularly in terms of our carnivorous plant world, when you put that together with us, for us you've been a very special person. And I'd like, myself personally, on behalf of the Carnivorous Plant Society and the people in this room on that ground, to thank you very much for all you have done. Let's get a few more words from Marcel, and then we'll move on to the next part of the presentation.
Well, Sir David, over the years you have shown many parts of the world, you've shown everybody the importance of the variation of life on Earth, and actually how important it is what's all being living together and how everything interacts, and especially the importance of conservation and what we stand to lose. And actually one of the things you actually also done is, with your patronage of the Carnivorous Plant Specialist Group, you have offered us an opportunity to basically give us a way of getting attention for the conservation efforts that are being needed and the importance of conservation, and we'd like to thank you very much for that.
But before we move on to the next, I want to make one last sort of thank you, and I'd like to identify the botanical artist Lucy Smith. Lucy, are you here? You're sitting there, Lucy. Could you just come forward just a little bit, so Sir David can see you? Not hide away anymore. Lucy has been an integral role in reaching this part of the presentation. So before we do any unveiling, I just want to do a pre-round of applause for Lucy. What Lucy's sort of done, I said, is now going to come to fruition. As you'll see, Sir David, we've gone to no expense in covering up what we've got for you. So David, this is again to thank you and to give you for all the feelings and stuff, every one of us here, for all you have done for carnivorous plants and for the conservation. So David, we present to you the Nepenthes Attenboroughi.
Going to be this sort of afternoon. I thought this was going to be devoted entirely to pitcher plants, and I am more flattered and honoured than I can say that you should have mentioned me so frequently in what you've been talking about. I'm not a zoologist, I'm not a botanist, you know, truth to tell. On the other hand, I can say that I fell in love with carnivorous plants quite early on in my life. I can tell you exactly when it was. It was in 1940, so that's 75 years ago, and it was on a Welsh hill, and I saw Drosera rotundifolia and Pinguicula. Pinguicula didn't excite me so much, but the Droseras did. Well, the Droseras are more beautiful in truth, aren't they, with those fantastic hairs. You know? And when I persuaded the BBC to let me make a series about plants, they all said, well, plants don't do anything. And I said, you are so wrong. And Drosera was very much in my mind for the way in which that marvellous little plant, that little British plant, behaves and catches its insects. And then, of course, later on, I did see bitter plants. I did see Nepenthes up on Mount Kinabalu particularly. One of the questions, Dr. Clark, another question you might quite answer is, when you explain all these things, why isn't there an exudate on the lid, underside of the lid, that contains a laxative? Just a thought. All I am here to do, though, is to say thank you so much. Thank you for painting this. I will treasure it. Thank you for everything you've said this afternoon, which is hugely complimentary. I've had a lovely time doing lovely things, and it seems really on top of everything to be thanked for doing so. It does seem to be a bit in excess. But I nonetheless thank you very, very much indeed.
It's not a surprise that gardeners, educators, and scientists are fascinated by these unique plants. The International Carnivorous Plant Society, or ICPS, not only love these plants, but welcomes growers just getting started all the way through professional scientists. The ICPS even started an annual World Carnivorous Plant Day to celebrate them. The free online event is held the first Wednesday of May. Take a look around our website and you'll find historic documents about carnivorous plants, growing guides, free educational resources, and more. Have questions? Ask. We don't bite, but our plants do.